The story begins in New York City. Dr. Alexander Hartdegen, an associate professor of applied mechanics and engineering at Columbia University, is deeply engrossed in solving a complex formula. His friend and colleague, David Philby, interrupts to remind him about his date with his girlfriend, Emma. Realizing he's late, Alexander gathers his notes and hurries home to prepare. On the way home, Alex and David discuss the university's consistent rejection of Alex's radical scientific proposals. David advises him to make his work more practical and human-centric. When they arrive at Alex's house, they're greeted by his housekeeper, Mrs. Watchett. She helps him change into formal attire so he can meet Emma. Alex finally meets Emma, and the two take a stroll through Central Park, talking intimately. He brings up his declining health, claiming only marriage to her could heal him. Emma, touched, tearfully agrees. After fumbling through his pockets, Alex presents her with a ring that has her birthstone. Emma is ecstatic, but their joy is cut short when a stranger approaches, demanding their money. Alex gives up his wallet and watch without resistance, but when the mugger tries to take Emma's ring and she resists, he shoots her. Alex cradles her in his arms as she dies, helpless and heartbroken, screaming her name in vain. The scene fades out with him holding her lifeless body. 4 years pass. Alex, still mourning Emma's death, has buried himself in his research. He continues writing formulas, trying to distract himself from his grief. David and Mrs. Watchett grow increasingly concerned about his reclusive behavior. One day, David visits and notices something hidden behind the curtains in Alex's house. Curious, he asks Alex to show him what he's been working on. Alex deflects and instead invites David to dinner in a week, promising to reveal everything then. When the day arrives, Alex, for the first time in years, puts on formal clothes. He opens the curtains, revealing a massive, intricate machine filled with gears and wheels, with a chair in the center. Sitting on the chair and holding a locket with Emma's photo, he pulls a lever. As he activates the machine, a glowing shield envelops him. The gears begin to turn, and when he pulls a final lever, a pocket watch begins to tick in reverse. It's revealed that the contraption is a time machine built with relentless dedication to return to the moment of Emma's death. The scene transitions to Central Park, 4 years in the past. Alex, having traveled through time, stands at the very place where tragedy once struck, determined to change what happened. Emma sees Alex and runs straight into his arms. Overwhelmed with joy, Alex kisses her and quickly ushers her to a nearby chariot to get them out of Central Park. They get off in the middle of the city, where Alex tells her to go straight home and stay there for the night. Knowing that his past self will show up at her place later, he advises her not to be alarmed and to remember that he loves her deeply. After leaving her on the roadside, he goes to buy flowers, just like he had promised. Tragically, before he returns, a vehicle hits Emma and kills her on the spot. Alex is shattered once again. He comes to the painful realization that no matter how hard he tries, Emma is destined to die that night. Refusing to accept defeat, Alex convinces himself that someone in the future must have cracked the code to changing the past. Determined, he sets the time machine for the future and starts his journey. As time speeds forward, he witnesses the world rapidly evolving. In one time period, he sees an ad promoting human settlements on the moon. He arrives at the New York Public Library and encounters a holographic librarian named Vox, marveling at how advanced technology has become. But when he asks about time travel, Vox bluntly tells him that no such invention exists. Still hopeful, Alex decides to travel further ahead and sets the machine for the year 2037. But the future he finds is in ruins. Earth has been devastated by the lunar colonization project, which dragged the moon closer to Earth and caused massive natural disasters. A giant crack now splits the moon's surface, while Earth suffers from constant earthquakes and tsunamis. 2 officers assigned to evacuate the planet try to detain Alex and escort him to a safe zone. As Alex resists, the ground violently quakes and splits open, spewing lava. In the chaos, he scrambles into his time machine, but a piece of metal strikes his head, knocking him unconscious. The machine activates automatically and keeps traveling through time while he lies slumped over. When he finally wakes up, he realizes he's landed in the year 802,701 and manages to stop the machine before passing out again. Alex later awakens in a bed with all his injuries treated. As he gets dressed, a curious young boy appears, then darts away. Alex follows him and discovers that humanity has regressed to a primitive state, now living in communities built into the sides of cliffs. The villagers gather around Alex, clearly intrigued by him, though none of them seem to understand English, except a girl named Mara, who speaks it fluently. When Alex explains that he's a time traveler, Mara tells the others that he's just a harmless wanderer to protect him from suspicion or harm. The people call themselves the Eloi. Suddenly, a loud horn blares through the air, and everyone rushes into shelters. That night, Alex stays with Mara and her brother Kalen, and notices fragments of the shattered moon glowing in the sky. The next day, Mara leads Alex to his time machine, which, to their relief, is still intact. She urges Alex to take Kalen with him back to the past. Before he can find out why, the same blaring horn sounds again. Mara panics and dashes off to rescue Kalen, with a confused Alex following close behind. Panic spreads through the area as the Eloi flee back to their cliffside homes. Alex then comes face to face with a terrifying beast-like creature known as a Morlock. More Morlocks burst from the ground and begin attacking the Eloi, capturing anyone they can and dragging them below the earth. Alex watches helplessly as Mara is seized and taken underground. When the chaos subsides, Alex tries to find out where the Morlocks take their captives, but Kalen says they are forbidden from discussing it. Eventually, Kalen leads Alex to the entrance of the Morlocks' world. They descend into a cave, and to Alex's shock, he realizes they're inside the ruins of the New York Public Library. The holographic librarian Vox activates and greets them. Powered by solar energy, the system has survived for centuries. Stunned, Alex asks what has happened to humanity. Vox explains that humans split into two species, the surface-dwelling Eloi and the subterranean Morlocks. The Morlocks now hunt the Eloi to survive. Vox tells them that to enter the Morlocks' domain, they must follow a sound referred to as the breathing. Alex and Kalen follow the eerie noise, which leads them to a massive, demonic statue with a gaping mouth that serves as an entrance. Alex leaves Kalen behind for safety and cautiously descends into the underground world. Upon arriving, Alex finds a full-blown civilization of Morlocks thriving below. While sneaking around, he stumbles and falls into a pool filled with human bones and remains. A Morlock discovers him and drags him to their leader's chamber. The Morlock leader explains that after the moon broke apart, many people were forced underground with no way to return. Over time, they adapted to the harsh environment and became the flesh-eating Morlocks. Meanwhile, others survived on the surface and evolved into the Eloi. Because the Morlocks could no longer live above ground due to their evolution, they began hunting Eloi for food and to propagate their species. The Morlock leader reveals that he possesses the ability to control the minds of both Eloi and Morlocks, maintaining balance in the world through this power. He also discloses that he has read Alex's mind and knows he's a time traveler desperate to bring back Emma. The leader causes Alex to hallucinate a life where Emma never died, showing him a vision of her and their child together. Overwhelmed with emotion, Alex is filled with sorrow. The leader then declares that fate is immutable, that humans are bound by the consequences of their own choices. He presents Alex's time machine and tells him to return to his own time, warning him not to disrupt the current state of the world. Appearing to comply, Alex climbs into the machine but suddenly pulls the leader in with him. A struggle ensues inside the time sphere. Alex forces the leader outside the machine's protective field and activates it, causing the leader to age rapidly and die. Alex then travels forward in time, only to find that the Morlocks' underground civilization has expanded even more. He returns to the present to rescue Mara, freeing her from captivity. As the Morlocks launch an attack, Alex quickly jams a gear into the time machine, triggering a massive temporal explosion. The resulting time distortion destroys the entire Morlock underworld. Alex and Mara manage to escape the cave just before everything collapses behind them. With no time machine left, Alex chooses to stay with the Eloi, having finally found a sense of peace and purpose. In the distant future, Vox is seen teaching Eloi children about human history. Alex brings Mara and Kalen to the site where his lab once stood, sharing stories with them. Meanwhile, in another time, David and Mrs. Watchett enter Alex's abandoned lab and talk about his mysterious disappearance. David believes that Alex has found happiness wherever he is now and invites Mrs. Watchett to work as his housekeeper, hinting at life continuing on despite the mystery.